My name is Janetta Amanda McCarthy. I'm mayor of the city of Waltham.
John Gollinger, I'm the Executive Director of the Waltham Housing Authority.
My name is Jules LeBlanc and I am from the Waltham Boys and Girls Club.
Stacy Gallagher-Tully. I am with Healthy Waltham.
And I'm Reva Hazelcorn, and I'm the program coordinator and chef instructor here at Healthy Waltham.
I'm Dr. Roz Rubin. I'm the CEO of Greater Waltham ARC in Waltham.
Welcome. We're happy you're here. We want and welcome you to get involved in our community.
We are considered the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution in America because it's the first place in the United States that you had textile manufacturing in one building.
Waltham is a melting pot. It's such a great, diverse community.
Waltham generally means diversity to me and convenience.
Diversity is huge in Waltham. We have people from all different backgrounds, countries, financial statuses. Everyone is different, but we all come together as such a great city. And
Waltham has always had the ability to reinvent itself.
Really big multicultural community here, so you can experience different types of cuisines, you meet different types of awesome people, and you learn about different cultures. So
This community has spirit and comes together.
It's a community that has many nonprofits trying to address needs within a population that is very diverse.
It's able to keep its sense of small community along with a sense of opportunity.
It's welcoming to the newcomer too, which is huge.
Waltham citizens, as it were, are very engaged. People really care about their local community here.
In other words, they're community-minded.
Closeness in Waltham that makes it like a small town.
it's an awesome place.
It's a very interesting blend of recognition of the history of the city and innovations that we're involved in this century.
That a lot of these needs are really interconnected, and if we don't take a holistic approach, we really can't have the impact that we want to have. Obesity issues, then substance abuse, mental health, as safety and transportation, and then employment and security from that perspective. Sort of a financial stability and security. And I think that when we look at all of those pieces, they really do go hand in hand and impact each other, right? If you don't have if you don't feel secure in your home, where you're living, or where your food is coming from, or where your next paycheck is coming from, that also impacts your physical health and your mental health. And we all know that those things are interrelated with substance abuse, with homelessness, with some of these issues that we're dealing with here in Waltham. So
You connect with the youth for one. That's my favorite part about More Than Words, and how they help them work towards developing a better future for themselves. In turn, it's rewarding for me and gratifying.
the Boys and Girls Club in Waltham is a huge part of this community. It serves as a second home for many of our kids. We provide breakfast in the summer and lunch in the summer for them, as well as dinner every evening during the school year. So a lot of times they're getting their breakfast and lunch from school, and then they come and have dinner here with us.
Over the years, we've engaged with the Waltham Group from Brandeis and the Community Engagement Office. We've had a really great experience with folks from the Waltham Group and other individual volunteers, groups and individuals volunteering here at More Than Words, working on the floor as education coaches and also working on the business job floor. Assisting with everything from pre-scanning books to other forms of processing inventories. Brandeis has been a long-standing partner, and they've shopped More Than Words. They've gotten the word out about More Than Words. A great group of folks from the staff down to the student body.
I love the campus, it's really fun. And I've also been there because Brandeis did allow a DCF organization to hold a function there for Christmas, and it was called Sibling Connections. And basically, what it was, it's a organization that allows foster kids who aren't with their siblings to be able to hang out with them. And Brandeis allowed us to host that event there.
This is a great school. I think that they have been developing their presence in our community for years now, and that's something that's really great. It shows our youth that they can achieve goals of going to a university, a very prestigious university here. And I think that something I've noticed about Brandeis over the past couple of years is that they are really developing their diversity in students over there too, and accepting of everyone, and that's great to see.
The volunteer aspect is tremendous. They can reach out to people in greater numbers than the local service organizations.
A lot of them will come and volunteer and run homework hours with our kids, which we're very thankful for. And they also serve as mentors for our youth. Another relationship we have with them is a few of our teenagers who have moved on from the Boys and Girls Club are now current students at Brandeis.
I see it up at Prospect Terrace. They present an awfully good role model for the kids, and they provide a resource, getting the kids connected to activities and learning resources that they may need.
I feel that the Brandeis students are very conscious of the diversity in the community and conscious of the fact that there's a need for everyone to pitch in and for people to really be a part of helping other people on the planet.
The group has been involved. They celebrated their 50th anniversary last year, and that basically gives them a microcosm of the city, from the young kids to the senior citizens and in between.
I think the Brandeis students have a great reputation for being very engaged in the community. I was over at Leland Home, and Brandeis students are volunteering there, and you go into the schools, or it's an active community that does reach out to the community. They don't just sit alone in their world, in their campus, which it's wonderful.
The first thing that I think of when we think about Brandeis is I remember when my brother, I don't know, it was the brochure or something, he decided to go, the description is, nestled in the rolling hills of Waltham, Massachusetts. And so that always pops up. But I think that kind of idea that, yes, maybe the campus is nestled in the rolling hills, but that the student population doesn't just stay there. And I think that even though in some ways you could go there and feel very far removed, it's not. And I think that really is carried out through the student body and what they'd like to see in the world, and starting locally, which means right here in Waltham.
They've always been excellent. They come from a great school, and they're really understanding of the community and what we need and the needs of our youth. So they come from very educated backgrounds, but their youth development skills are actually pretty great, and they're able to meet with our kids and do homework with them, but also have a great time with them, play in the gym with them, and it's just really great to see the bonds that they develop with our youth throughout the year.
Brandeis, I think of the kids there as highly intelligent. That's the first perception that I get when I think of Brandeis, because your reputation precedes you as being a really successful university. And so far, everyone that I've met has been pretty nice, especially if I'm dining at In a Pickle. I run into them a lot there.
Brandeis and Bentley both, from their involvement in the city, have enriched the city tremendously.
The fact that Brandeis has really made efforts to encourage their students to participate in community service is definitely makes an improvement in the Waltham community. They'll provide an awful lot of services within the community, and not just for Waltham Housing, but I know of other agencies as well. And it fills a void. There's just aren't enough people to do all the things that need to be done, and I think the community volunteering that both schools promote has gone a long way to making it a better community.
These learning centers are really an amazing, safe place for enrichment and positive activities for these kids to go after school. And I know they wouldn't be able to sustain those centers without the support of Bentley either. So,
You know, service learning is a huge aspect of Brandeis, and having those students available to us is huge. We love that, and I think that service learning develops character in people, and to be able to set these college, university students up for success after they leave school with values is really important.
So lots of options to volunteer in Waltham.
The importance of volunteering, the importance of activism, and working from your heart and passion to help the needs of others. That's what makes communities.
You may not know the population or the needs or how that particular agency works, but jump in. You will have a wonderful experience. You will be supported by whatever agency wants you to volunteer there, and you'll come out on the other side with a very different perspective, because you'll have an opportunity to see the challenges that we all face right now.
Really, the people-to-people contact is where you can't measure that. And if a young kid has the opportunity to be tutored by this kid and have, like a mentor next to them, then they have a chance. And I think by watching kids, you can say, oh, I can do that too. And it gives the kids confidence. And I think the Brandeis students get as much out of it that the kids get themselves personally. So,
If you do a lot of listening and a little bit of talking and get to know the people before you try to make your mark or try and impress people, you'll go a lot further. You'll get along a lot better with the people here. If you come in as if you know everything about everything, you probably won't get a lot of cooperation or a lot of sympathy from a lot of the old timers in Waltham.
Don't just look at Google Maps to find a place, or actually go. You might want to step out of trying to search for a place to volunteer on the internet, because not everything is there. Because there's little hidden places that do great things, just like More Than Words, but they're not online. You actually have to get out and walk Waltham in order to find them.
I think that doing the legwork and really finding somewhere where it really connects with you is really important. And like Dean said, the hours are great and things, but you want to leave with an experience, and you want to impact someone's life and possibly even impact your own. So I think that it's important to do the legwork to find something that really connects with you and can make a difference.
how can you use those talents to make the world a better place? When you want to explore in Waltham too. If you really want to see into the community, get involved. So you give back,
And I look forward to the opportunity to meet you. Everybody should volunteer doing something.
So More Than Words is a non-profit social enterprise, and it was founded by Jody. It started on the side of a road with a box full of books and a few kids from nearby group homes selling those books. And then Jody turned it, as you can see, into two different sites, Boston site and the Waltham site.
More Than Words is a different kind of place. Instead of telling youth what to do, we show them how to, and then we consider their input on all things. We consider their feedback on all things, and it's a place where young people can move themselves forward.
This makes Waltham a community that is really unique in recognizing and serving the various challenges of persons, not just developmental disabilities, but housing, hunger, literacy, domestic violence. So a unique community that gets it about who's out there and what the needs are. We want to show everyone that persons with intellectual and developmental disabilities are part of the diversity of the planet.
We are a housing authority that rents housing units to people of very low income. We have a local preference, a Waltham preference, so if you're a member of the Waltham community, you probably, after a few years, can get an apartment with us. If you're not a member of the Waltham community, unless you were a veteran, you probably don't stand much of a chance of getting an apartment with us or a voucher with us. So